All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unlock a built-in macOS tool that can literally transform how you navigate your machine. If you're using a Mac every single day, you already know that wrangling your applications is the absolute backbone of staying productive. So today, we're putting the spotlight on a feature that honestly doesn't get enough love, but is insanely powerful: macOS Launchpad. So be honest with me for a second. Is your Mac dock totally overflowing right now? You know the look, those tiny, squished together icons spanning the entire bottom of your screen. If you're tired of that cluttered workspace, or if you're constantly losing apps because they're buried in a microscopic dock, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're gonna clean all that up and give your brain some much-needed breathing room. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet macOS Launchpad, then cover how to actually open the app grid. After that, we'll get into organizing and deleting apps, compare Mac app launchers, and finally, wrap up with some serious power user workflows. All right, Section 1, meet macOS Launchpad, your digital home screen. Let's look at exactly what this is. At its core, Launchpad is a full-screen launcher that shows all your installed apps in a nice, neat grid. It's really the ultimate mental bridge. Apple basically took that familiar, super intuitive iPhone and iPad home screen experience and dropped it right onto the Mac. They realized that organizing things visually with big, touch-friendly targets just works. It's your simple, stress-free alternative to digging around in Finder folders. And just look at how clean this interface is. The second you trigger it, your background beautifully blurs out, all your desktop distractions melt away, and you get this gorgeous grid. You've got those little page dots at the bottom, exactly like iOS, and a lightning-fast search bar dead center at the top. It's incredibly visual and just instantly makes sense. Moving on to Section 2. Opening the app grid 4 ways in. Let's see how to actually bring this up. Because Apple loves giving us options, you actually have 4 distinct ways to open this thing, depending on your style. You've got the classic method, just click the little rocket ship icon in your dock. If you're a keyboard junkie, tapping F4 or function F4 brings it up instantly. Then there's the trackpad gesture, which is just pinching with your thumb and 3 fingers. And finally, for the true power users out there, you can assign it to a hot corner in system settings. So you just flick your mouse to the corner of the screen and boom, there it is. If you're on a MacBook or using a Magic Trackpad, seriously, try this gesture out right now. Just pinch inwards with your thumb and 3 fingers. It literally feels like you're physically grabbing your open windows and squishing them away to reveal your apps underneath. It's that kind of tactile feedback that makes macOS so fun to use. Okay, on to Section 3, organizing and deleting apps, the gotcha moment. Having a grid is great, but here's how you actually make it your own. You can see a pretty stark difference here. On the left, a chaotic default grid. On the right, a beautifully organized layout with folders. It works exactly like your phone. Just click and drag one app right on top of another to instantly create a folder. You can rename them to whatever fits your mental model, like productivity, media, or design. Plus, you can easily drag apps to the absolute edge of the screen to push them onto totally different pages. Now pay attention, because here is the major gotcha moment that frustrates so many Mac users. If you downloaded an app from the Mac App Store, deleting it is a breeze. Just click and hold until it jiggles, hit the X, and confirm. Done. But if you downloaded an app straight from the internet, you actually can't delete it from Launchpad. You have to open Finder, navigate to your Applications folder, and manually drag it to the trash. Launchpad only has the power to uninstall official App Store downloads. Okay, time for a massive workflow upgrade. If you take away only one trick from this entire explainer, make it this. The absolute fastest way to find an app is to just start typing the literal second Launchpad opens. Don't even bother clicking the search bar, just type. And here's why it feels so insanely fast. Launchpad search actually beats Spotlight for this, because it's only searching your installed apps, not scanning through thousands of random PDFs, emails, and files. Next up, Section 4. Mac app launchers compared, choosing the right tool. Let's see where Launchpad fits into the bigger picture. This breakdown perfectly highlights the differences. You've got Spotlight for blazing fast system-wide searching. Finder's there when you need strict, granular control over your file system. Your dock really should be reserved strictly for your heavy hitters, the daily driver apps. But Launchpad, that's your go-to for visual browsing. It's perfect for when you know you have an app, you want to see what your options are, or for those apps you use maybe once a week and don't want permanently clogging up your dock. Finally, let's jump into Section 5, Power User Workflows, 0 to Hero. Here's how the pros are using this. There's this huge misconception that Launchpad is only for Mac beginners, but power users absolutely love it. As you can see from this community feedback, there's a really profound, simple appeal to having a clean, full-screen grid instead of a cluttered dock you have to constantly squint at. You know what they say? A clean workspace equals a clean mind. Let's look at a really cool example from our source material. A cybersecurity pro running macOS alongside a Kali Linux environment. They use a super strict 3-page layout. Page 1 is strictly for everyday stuff: Safari, Notes, Terminal. Then they swipe to page 2, which is an isolated, dedicated zone for hardcore cyber tools like Wireshark and VirtualBox. Page 3, that's just a dumping ground for the default Apple apps they barely touch. By physically separating these workspaces, they're literally priming their brain for the exact type of work they're about to dive into. And I've got 2 final power tips for you. First, if you're in a massive rush and want to bypass the grid entirely, just right-click the Launchpad icon in your dock. It instantly pops up a vertical list of every single app on your system. It is ridiculously fast. Second, you can go 100% mouse-free. Hit F4 to open Launchpad, instantly type the first 2 letters of the app you want, and smash Hunter. Once you build that muscle memory, it's totally fluid. Just a quick heads up as we wrap things up. macOS is always changing. Depending on what version you're running, especially if you look at newer updates like the jump to Tahoe, the interface might look a bit more like an app library rather than the classic grid. But don't sweat it. If you're on Monterey, Ventura, or anything similar, it works exactly as we've covered today. The core organizational philosophies are completely identical across the board. So with all these tactics and shortcuts now in your toolkit, the ball is totally in your court. Take a hard look at your Mac right now. Are you going to keep squinting at a chaotic dock, or are you ready to restructure your digital workspace, clear out the clutter, and make your daily workflow absolutely unstoppable?